Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Good evening. Well, I'm going to call this the late night tip. All right. On the late night tip. All right. So, I want to get into this topic about this Saucy Santana character and others like him. All right. Now, I'm going to be making this video directly to those in the LGBTQ community. All right. Because it's time to have a conversation with those in that community, especially to these gay men out here and transgender women. Okay. So before I get started, right, I'm going to play a video clip that Saucy Santana said, and I'm going to address my issue on it, and I'm going to speak on it very honestly. Okay. So what I will say and what I'm about to say may be offensive to many of you out there. But guess what? It's time. It's time to take off the gloves and go ahead and put it out there. All right. So let's go ahead and play this video. All right. So here's the video right here. I'm about to play it. Let me put myself on mute.
No, y'all don't. No, it's just not. It's y'all just saw. Off, y'all females. It's the estrogen, baby. It's not happening. You girls don't got the strength as niggas. They don't. I really hate because girls don't got the strength as niggas. They don't. I grew up around. But I really hate because girls don't got the strength as niggas. They don't. I grew up around the upper girls. I hate when girls be like, "Oh, I'm a dog. I'm a man. I act just like a nigga out here." No, y'all don't, baby. No, y'all don't. No, it's just not. It's y'all just soft. Y'all females. It's the estrogen, baby. It's not happening. You cannot move like a nigga. You cannot think like a nigga. You cannot act like a man. It's just not happening. And I want y'all to stop lying to yourself, telling yourself that y'all want these niggas to tell y'all the truth. No, y'all don't. Baby, nobody don't want to hear no motherfucking truth. And then when a nigga do start telling y'all the truth, y'all start bugging the fuck out and losing it, which is why the nigga lied to you in the first place. And what the fuck a nigga telling me the truth for? Bitch, you're that bold. Bitch, you don't give a fuck about me that much. When I tell niggas the truth, I don't give a fuck about them. They like my little side niggas. I'm not that invested. So here's the truth. Take it or leave. My bitch that I love, like I'm in the field, bitch, I'm not telling you. I'm Jody. You know what I really hate? Because girls don't got the strength as niggas. They don't. I grew up around the upper girls. I hate when girls be like, "Oh, I'm a dog. I'm a man. I act just like a nigga out here." No, y'all don't, baby. No, y'all don't. No, it's just not. It's y'all just soft. Y'all females. It's the estrogen, baby. It's not happening. You cannot move like a nigga. You cannot think like a nigga. You cannot act like a man. It's just not happening. And I want y'all to stop lying to yourself, telling yourself that y'all want these niggas to tell y'all the truth. No, y'all don't. Baby, nobody don't want to hear no motherfucking truth. And then when a nigga do start telling y'all the truth, y'all start bugging the fuck out and losing it, which is why the nigga lied to you in the first place. And what the fuck a nigga telling me the truth for? Bitch, you're that bold. Bitch, you don't give a fuck about me that much. When I tell niggas the truth, I don't give a fuck about them. They like my little side niggas. I'm not that invested. So here's the truth. Take it or leave. My bitch that I love, like I'm in the field, bitch, I'm not telling you. I'm Jody.
I have a facial expression for a reason. Because now it's time to go in. We as women, right? We put up a fight for individuals like him. And I say women in general, okay? Put up a fight for individuals like him, meaning those in the LGBTQ community, right? So they can be comfortable in their own skin, right? Come into women dominated spaces. But let's call it for what it is. These goofies, and I'm going to call them goofies. And Saucy Santana is a goofy ass motherfucker lady man, a man lady. That's why I would call him he a man lady. You got the nerve to tell women, stop acting like men. Stop lying to yourself. I wonder, do he ever look himself in the mirror and say, I need to stop acting like a woman because I have testosterone and I need to carry myself like a man? Do he ever say, let me stop lying to myself? Does he ever look at his counterparts in the LGBTQ community, the transgender, the ones that identify as women? Do he ever tell them, stop acting like women, stop wearing women clothing, stop talking like women, stop saying that you was born this way, you're lying to yourself? Do we ever think, do we ever say that? Or do we ever say that to those who call themselves non-binary or gender fluid and say, hey, stop identifying yourself as a woman because you're not a woman technically. You're still a man. You ain't got the woman's parts. Okay? You have an estrogen. You don't know what it's like to be a woman. No. And then he say something about truth. He say, see, when men start telling y'all the truth, y'all women gonna lose it. But when people start telling the truth about how they feel about the LGBTQ community, guess what? Those gays and transgender, they lose it. They lose their mind. Someone like Saucy Santana, if you tell him that stop acting like a woman and be a whole man because you are a whole man. You a man with a beard, with long fingernails, long eyelashes, trying to emulate a woman, trying to use women catchphrases. If you was to say something like that to him, you can't tell me he won't get offended. You know, it's time that we put our foot down and say something to these individuals and let them know, stay in your lane, okay? Now, there is some truth. Yes, women carry estrogen. No, women are not the same as men. But neither are you. You're not the same as women. You carry testosterone. So you have no place to tell a woman. As a matter of fact, he's the same one. The same guy that said gay men can teach women how to be women. Gay men can teach women how to be women. So where did gay men learn how to be women from? Where did they get their ideas of womanhood from? From a woman. See, I like Flame Monroe because at least Flame Monroe, who identifies as a transgender, keeps it 100%, keeps it real. And does not mind using his/her name, real name, okay? Don't be tripping off of pronouns. Flame Monroe keeps it real and be strictly honest. But here you got somebody like Saucy Santana, right? Come into women dominated space and get comfortable in telling women how to be women. Yes, women get offended with that, as we should, because we allowed you collectively to be who you are, right? We respected who you are. we show emotional support, right? Women show emotional support to those in the LGBT community when particularly with gays, especially when a lot of those gay males got picked on in school, got made fun of, got Joan for being gay, right? But now all of a sudden they get too comfortable and getting a little too damn cocky, saying what the fuck they want, and start coming off being too disrespectful. And it's so funny that many of them talk about straight males, heterosexual males. But I'm going to say this, there's no difference between a gay male and a straight male. The only difference is the sexuality. That's the only difference. Outside of that, there is no difference. Because guess what? They both are men at the end of the day. And same with the transgender female, meaning that men who identify as women or who transition into women, they still are men at the end of the day. They still have the psychology of men. You know, Saucy, it's funny because Saucy said women talk about they think like men. But here he is trying to think like a woman. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. There's no difference because, and I'm going to say this to the women out there, especially if you have gay friends, you better keep an eye on them. You better watch them very closely. Okay? You better watch your male gay friends very closely. Because here's the trick that many people don't pay attention to. A lot of them come into women's spaces because they want to feel dominant. They want to feel dominant because they don't feel dominant enough around other men. They don't feel dominant enough around other men in the gay community, right? So when they get around women, they feel more dominant because now they feel like they got the power to exercise their masculine thoughts in a feminine way. Again, they got the power. They feel like they have a power to exercise their masculine thoughts in a feminine way. Let's look at Uncle Clifford, for example. If you guys watch that show, P Valley, if you look at P Valley, right, Uncle Clifford, he's in the women's dominant space, right, running the strip club. Now, Uncle Clifford identifies as she because the gender fluid thing, right? But he's in women dominant space. But guess what? He exercised his power as a person with a patriarchal mindset. But he does it in a way that women can relate to him by being feminine. Okay? By being extremely feminine. Regardless of his sexual preference. He still carried on that patriarchal mindset. All right? And that's what a lot of them want to do. They want to exercise their dominance as men. But doing it in the disguise of being a female or carrying on female traits. Then I can go so far as say a lot of them is pussy envy. They are. They pussy envy. And see, this is one of the reasons why people have a hard time supporting those in that community, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's always something like this comes about. Then you're not allowed to have disagreements with them. Let you disagree what goes on with those in the LGBTQ community and see how you're going to get ridiculed. You know, you're not allowed to speak your opinion. You're not allowed to say anything. You got to sit back and be quiet and let them have it, right? It's okay for them to disrespect you. Or let's talk about, I done heard some gays, and if you think I'm lying, sit back and listen to that conversation. I done heard gay people saying that they done mess with men who was on the DL, meaning that men who are currently in relationship with women but having sex with other men. I have heard gay people saying that. I have heard gay people say they mess with men that are on the DL, and they say it like as if they have no problem with it. You know, like there's no shame in what they're doing. Like there's no disrespect involved. So you don't have any type of shame that you're messing with a woman's husband, especially. You don't feel guilty about what you're doing, right? You get on the internet and you will say something like, yeah, that's why, bitch, that's why your husband is gay, this, that, and other. That's why your husband was having sex with me, this, that, and other. Yeah. And then you got the transgender that do the same thing. But you want people to respect you. You want people to put up a fight for you. And women, you gotta be careful who you fighting for. You gotta be careful what you giving into. You know, we have put, as a collective, we have put the issues of those in the LGBTQ community before anybody else, before our own issues. Have you noticed that many of them do not fight for us the way that we will fight for them? Have you noticed that many of them do not fight for women the way that women will fight for them? You will have women that will go up and down and put up a protest for these individuals, but the same is not returned for women when it comes to domestic violence, sex trafficking, homelessness, um, abuse, trauma. You don't see too many of them put up a fight for women on that level. You don't. But these women will put up a fight for those in the LGBTQ community. You don't get anything in return. What you get in return, for the most part, you get a lot of disrespect. You receive a lot of condemnation as a woman. Hmm. And then what makes it so sad is that these very same people receive more protection than women. I asked a question one day on social media. Why is it that the LGBTQ community receive more protection than women? Why can't women receive the same amount of protection as those in the LGBTQ community? Why? That's what I would like to know. Why can women not receive the same amount of protection as those in the LGBTQ community? And I'm gonna be honest, it's a slap to the woman's face. It really is. It's a slap to women's faces. And don't get me started on the name calling, right? See, women get to be called bitches and hoes by everybody, including those from the LGBT community. But don't you start calling them names. Don't start calling them names. No, because now you don't went too far when you start calling them names. Now you're homophobic, you're transphobic, you're all this phobic. But it's okay when you get called. Ain't nobody really batting an eye on that, right? Not too many people saying anything about that. But it's sad. Women allow that shit. Women allow these individuals call them bitches and hoes. It's okay for them to say that, but it's not okay for you to reciprocate that same energy they dish out by giving them the names, give them labels, right? It's not okay. But it's okay when you get the label, when you get the name calling, when you get antagonized for your activity, especially if you're promiscuous. If you're promiscuous, you get name called. You be labeled as a hoe. It's a condemnation for you, but it's not a condemnation for them, right? On a grand scale, when they engage in sexual activities with the same sex, it's not that much condemnation. It's accepted as a norm, but it's not normal for you as a woman to indulge in sexual activity with men, with multiple men. But a gay man can indulge into sexual activity with multiple men. We got to unpack it. We got to have this conversation. We got to have this conversation. We got to be straight up about this. This conversation need to be talked about because it's like a lot of people are scared of those in the LGBT community or LGBTQ. A lot of people are scared. They're scared to say something. But if you don't talk about the issues that you encounter with certain individuals that coming out of those communities, then how can progress be made? How can changes be made? We're going to continue. We're going to continue. We're going to continue to allow individuals like Saucy Santana to be comfortable enough to say what they want to women. I guess if you put your foot down, you homophobic, right? You put your foot down, you say something, you point out something, oh, now you're homophobic. Oh, you're transphobic. Don't put your foot down. You're homophobic, you're transphobic. That's what society, that's how society got people. Society got people scared. Thanks to the liberal culture, thanks to the liberals, they got people caught up in the state of confusion and got people scared to say something. But shout out to those who are bold enough to even speak their mind on this issue. You know, at some point in time, I believe more and more women gonna start speaking out against gay men. I'm gonna just be honest. More and more women are going to start speaking up and speaking out against gay men and transgender men. I mean, transgender women. They're gonna start speaking out because they getting to the point. A lot of women are getting to the point where they had enough of this shit. Enough is enough. Enough is enough of the disrespect. You know what I'm saying? You know, you disrespect the same people that put up a fight for y'all to be comfortable in your own skin. You put, you know what I'm saying? You disrespect the people that put up a fight for y'all to be comfortable in your own skin, to be able to live how you choose to live, and you turn around, you give them your ass a kiss. You give them your ass a kiss. And for those in the LGBT community say that women were not the biggest supporter of them, you're a damn lie. Most of these women put up a fight for those individuals to be able to live, to be treated with, um, to be treated as human, to be treated with respect and dignity. To say, okay, you deserve your right. You deserve a right to be comfortable and not be judged based on your character or based on your lifestyle. But these individuals turn around and give you they ass to kiss. They give you they ass to kiss and say fuck you. A lot of them do. They basically saying fuck you, bitch. Kiss my ass. Being pussy envy and all that, man. Come on, bro. Come on. Come on. It's crazy, right? But see, women, we get so caught up emotionally. We get so caught up emotionally and being emotionally invested into a lot of things. And that what set us back. You cannot be emotionally invested to a lot of people. You got to put your foot down on certain things, on certain issues. Even if it's disagreeable, right? You got to put your foot down and let it be known. You may be offensive. You may have to hurt some feelings. You know, someone said something, and I'm going to read what this brother had said on Facebook. Let me get on here. Let me look for the Facebook comment. Let me see the Facebook comments on here. He said this. He said, as women, you have the social influence to create society. If women collectively say something ain't cool, men, particularly heterosexual men, won't go along with it because they want access. So when women co-sign, they empower those weirdos to think they the opposite sex or whatever binary they identify with. Okay, so but the most important part, he said, as women, you have the social influence to create society. And that is true. As women, as women, as women, we do have the social influence. We have the voice to say, no, this is not the direction you're going. But if you don't have enough women standing up and let it be known where they stand on their position, then it's only going to get worse over time. Now, this ain't to show hate towards gay people or anything like that. But if we're going to have a conversation and talk about keeping it real, and then it's time to keep it real. It's time to just open up. So either a person can receive the conversation or a person just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Let me read this. Someone put, most of the gay men really want straight men. Yeah, and that's true. That's true. They do. They want to turn the straight man out. That's what it is. They want to turn the straight man out to make him gay. And there's straight men that say, no, I'm not going for that, brother. I don't get down like that. So when that man tells him, hey, I don't get down like that, he's labeled as homophobic. No, that's not homophobic. They showing that they have preferences. It's a preference. Just like it's a preference for you to be with men, it's a preference for that straight man to be with a woman. Dr. Neely Fuller said, if the alternative lifestyle is so good, then show people how. What you do in the bedroom isn't for the public. Absolutely, I agree. However, the high level of single parent homes allow for the degeneracy of the youth. You know what? Somewhat I can agree with you, but I have to disagree with you. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the child's upbringing, whether if they come from a single parent household or if they're coming from two-parent household. It's the upbringing that's gonna matter the most, and what they're influenced by. But in a way, I do agree with your statement. However, it's more so about the upbringing and what brought about the influence. Yeah, it is. It's pretty overwhelming. It's pretty overwhelming. It's pretty sad to be honest. But again, what can't you really do? You can't really do too much about it. I mean, as women, we can voice our thoughts on this. We can stand on our position, but it's up to those individuals to change. And I want to say something else. Let me be honest, right? Let me be honest. Those gay men, those gay men, you're gonna find out that certain ones like women on the low key. Certain one like women on the low key. And those transgender women, they like women on the low key as well. They are still attracted to the opposite sex. They physically attracted to the woman's body, to the woman's characteristic, to how a woman dress. A lot of them are attracted to women. They are still physically attracted to women. They just may not be sexually attracted to a woman, but overall they are attracted to women. And I can go so far as say again, some of them or certain ones, they low key like women. Yeah, they're gay, but they still behind closed doors. They like women. They might identify as transgender, but on but behind closed doors, they like women. They like women. They still find women attractive. And it's just like the lesbians, right? The ones that are lesbian, guess what? On the low key, they like men. They like men on the low key. They still find men attractive. You know why? Because they like the physical appearance, right? They like the mannerism. They like the style of men. If they didn't find men so attractive, why they go so far to emulate a man? Because they find the man physically attractive. They find his um style attractive. The way he talk, the way he walk. They find that shit attractive. So the same thing go for gay men. They find women attractive. The way the woman walk, the way the woman talks, her body language, how she dressed, her catchphrases, they find that shit attractive. They find the woman attractive so much to the point that they will emulate the woman. Oh, you think I'm lying? Go look on social media. You have gay men talking about how they want to have intercourse with women, how they want to be bisexual, how they want to practice bisexuality. But most women ain't going for it. Most women ain't going for a relationship with gay men. Most women, they're not going for that shit. The ones who like women on the low key are also very abusive towards women too. Absolutely. I agree. Adonis syndrome. Okay, let's look that up. Let's see what that is. Okay, so Adonis complex is anxiety, insecurity experienced by boys and men about their appearance or body images. In extreme cases, the complex can meet the criteria of body dimorphic disorder. The term was introduced in 2000 by the U.S. psychiatrist Harrison G. Pope Jr. in the title of his book, The Adonis Complex: The Secret Crisis of Male Body Obsession. Hmm. And yes, there are those who are there are those who are very insecure about themselves to the point they're gonna go above and beyond to try to make themselves look perfect. They change it up because it deals with the surge in bodybuilding. Hmm. But but yeah, they become obsessed with the opposite sex. So anybody that said, "Well, I don't like the opposite sex. I'm not attracted to the opposite sex." Yes, you are. You just may not be sexually attracted to them, but you are attracted to the opposite sex. Otherwise, you wouldn't go so far to try to take on the characteristic, try to emulate the behavior, trying to dress like them, act like them, walk or whatever. Do anything that the opposite sex does. But technically speaking, you are attracted to the opposite sex, right? Thank you. I appreciate it. Shout out to you, brother MJA2873. Thank you so much. Thank you. But again, we got to really, especially as women, we have to be careful. We have to be careful when we have certain people in our space. We have to analyze the behavior. Just because you deal with somebody that's a homosexual does not mean you have to overlook them. No, that does not mean. Oh, don't get me started with the BBL thing. Don't get me started with that BBL. That's another conversation. That's another conversation, a topic by itself that needs to be discussed. This whole BBL shit that got to be discussed. That needs to be really talked about because it's so many pros and cons to that. Well, it's a lot of cons to it. That the BBL culture is out of control too. It's out of control. That's a whole nother subject in itself. A whole nother subject. But women, you got to be careful, right? Don't overlook. Don't overlook somebody because of their sexuality or their preference. You cannot overlook them. You cannot. You cannot say, well, he's homosexual, so he one of us. He's one of the girls. No, he's not one of the girls. He's not one of the girls. Hey, Carmel, how you doing? Hey, Caramel Mel, how you doing? Shout out to you. You cannot say, well, he's one of the girls, so give him a pass, okay? Just give him a pass. He's one of the girls. He's one of our bitches. He's one of us. No, he's not. He's not. He's not one of us. You got to understand. He's a man by nature. The only difference is he identified as being the homosexual or transgender, but by nature he's a man. You got to recognize that. You can't overlook that. You cannot excuse that. So you gotta be careful when you be too comfortable with certain ones. You gotta be careful when they be in your dominant space. Because at the end of the day, a lot of them still had that patriarchal mindset, right? A lot of them still think with that sexist mindset, chauvinistic mindset. They still practice misogyny, okay? While they criticize a straight male for practicing misogyny and being a chauvinist and being too patriarchal, right? A lot of them carry on that same mindset as the straight males, as they straight male counterpart they talk about. A lot of them do. They just come into your space acting like a woman because they know they can be comfortable that way, and they can be comfortable enough to exert their power. And again, it's not a hate towards anybody that's in the LGBTQ community, right? But it has to be expressed. It has to be put out there. It's no hate. Everybody ain't homophobic. Everybody ain't transphobic. It's an honest conversation that needs to be talked about. It's an honest dialogue that needs to be put out there. Stop letting people like Saucy Santana tell you as a woman how to be a woman when he learned his characteristic from a woman. Stop letting Saucy Santana tell you that you need to stop acting like a man or you acting like a man. Don't be lying to yourself. When he's over here acting like a woman, wearing long fingernails, long eyelashes, wearing makeup with a damn full beard, and he got BBLs. And he got a discombobulated ass walk. Have y'all seen how he walk? He walk pretty discombobulated. Carrying purses like a woman. Getting his toes done like a woman. But tell you need to quit acting like a man. But he acting so much like a woman. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Something is not adding up to the equation. The equation doesn't line up. How you get to tell me how to be feminine and how to act like a woman and stop acting like a man, but you trying to be so much like a woman. Well, he just giving his opinion, and he just he don't mean it like that. He's picking at women. He's poking the bear. That's what he's doing. He's poking the bear and he's picking on the collective group of women. So if he can get away with doing that and nobody really say anything to him, he gonna keep on doing it. He's poking the bear. Thank you very much. The sister said it right. Exactly. Being a woman is more than putting on the costume. It's a lot to being a woman. Being a woman is not just about looks, but it's also the mindset. It's also the biology. Okay? It's the biology that we have to deal with as women that come naturally. All right? It's not something that we want to deal with. It's something that we have to deal with as women because it comes natural. You know what I'm saying? We cannot control the biology. Even if you call yourself a trans man, biologically speaking, you're still a woman. You can't control that biology. You can't control your estrogen. Okay? But he cannot control his testosterone. In other words, that means he cannot get rid of his testosterone. He can, no matter how much he try to act like a woman, how much he want to sound like a woman, he could never be a woman. So he really has no place to tell a woman how to be a woman when he don't know anything about being a goddamn woman. Yeah, you grew up in a household full of women, but you still don't know shit about being a damn woman your damn self. So you ain't got no place to tell a woman how to be a damn woman. You gotta know your boundary. That's just like me. I grew up around a bunch of males, but I can't tell no man how to be a man. I can't tell a man how to be a man. I can say what I'm looking for in a man or what I will find attractive in a man, but I can't tell you how to be a man. I can't put on that persona for you. I cannot put on that persona because I am not a male. I'm not a man. You know what I'm saying? What would I look like coming into a male dominated space saying, y'all men need to start acting like men? This is how men supposed to act. Who am I to say that? I can say, well, this is what I'm looking for in a man, and I might dislike certain behaviors that I see from men, but at the same time, I can't express how to be a man. I can't express how to be a man. That's not something I have in me biologically per se. I don't have the male biological traits. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that male, I don't have the testosterone. I don't have that. So it would do me no good as a woman to tell a man how to be a man. I can't express that. I can't really show you. So same go for Saucy Santana. He can't express what it's like to be a woman because he has no clue. He doesn't know what it's like. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what it's like and what it feels like to be a damn woman. He doesn't know the ontology, keyword ontology, of a woman. So you can emulate women all day, and a woman can emulate a man. She could pick up some of the behavior, some of the mannerism. She could pick up the mannerism of the man, and you could pick up the mannerism of the woman. But at the end of the day, you will never know what it's like to be a woman. But it was so funny when he made that comment, gay men can teach women how to be women. That's when it should have been a pause right there. That's when somebody should have said, whoa, hold on, buddy. You're overstepping your boundary. You need to sit right there. That's when Young Miami should have had a conversation with him and said, hey, buddy. He is. He is. He is. Aaron, he is. He is. He is. He is. He is. I can't say it no other way. He is. He is confused. Absolutely, he is confused. He's very confused. But his friend, who is his best friend, Young Miami, she should have told him, hey, you need to stay in your lane as a man. Yeah, you one of my homies, you one of my people, you my bestie or whatever, but you need to stay in your space as a man. You need to stop trying to dictate that. You don't have that right to dictate that. You need to stay in your personal space as a man. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about this whole thing, man. It's gonna get to a point that more and more women's gonna start speaking out. And I want to say this: Peace, Elijah. How you doing? How you doing, Elijah? I want to give a shout out to Jess Hilarious. Jess Hilarious said something. As a matter of fact, let me go find that video. Hold on. All right, so watch this. I'm trying to find this video. All right, that's the video. All right, I'm about to play the video clip for y'all. I'm about to play the video clip for y'all because I want to give a special shout out to Jess Hilarious for this. All right, so let me see if y'all can hear it. So many people, and she did a podcast on this, and her podcast got banned because she was discussing this subject matter. But watch this. Shout out to Jess Hilarious. Watch this. Now do the veggie dance. Do the veggie dance. All right, here's the video.
Fuck is gonna stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that. The fuck is gonna stand up for us?
Yeah. So no, her podcast still around, but she did a show, an episode about the transgender, and that podcast got banned. I don't know if it was on Spotify, but you can find it on YouTube. You can find that podcast on YouTube, right? But it was banned on I think it was Spotify where it got banned on. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, it wasn't released out to the public. You know, if you want to find it, you have to look it up on YouTube. Because, you know, folks can post those stuff on YouTube. But yeah. But that goes to show you that you're not allowed to have your opinion about certain people, about certain groups. You're not allowed to have your opinion. You got to keep them to yourself. But those same people can have opinion about you, but you can't have no opinion about them. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. But I'm going to close it out. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching. Well, this is the late night tip because it's on a late night. So I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for coming in. So I know y'all got to go work in the morning or y'all got things that y'all need to do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share the channel. Shout out to all my people over here. Shout out to Caramel Melly or Caramelly Mel, Aaron, MJA. Again, thank you, brother. Let me see who else. Candy, shout out to you. Shout out to Iyame and Sister Juju. Okay. Okay. Well, I hope you have a good day. And thank you for coming through. I appreciate you coming through. All right. Until next time, we'll keep you guys posted. So until next time, may peace and power be to all of you. And y'all be safe. All right. So deuces. And we'll talk again. All righty.